I'm Mr. Marshall. I'm the Head of Humanities here at Castle School and one of our geography teachers. Why should you study geography? It's not only up to date and relevant, it's one of the most exciting, adventurous and valuable subjects to study today. So many of the world's current problems boil down to geography and need the geographers of the future to help us understand them and maybe even solve them. Global warming, sustainable food production, natural disasters such as earthquakes and tsunamis, the spread of disease, we know all about that. The reasons for migration and the future of energy resources are just some of the great challenges facing the next generation of geography students. As the subjects linking the arts and the sciences, it's really flexible as well in terms of what other subjects you could pick to go with it. Employers in the future will prize the knowledge and skills that studying geography will have provided, be it knowing how the world works, planning research and report writing, working in a team, using new technologies, building those communication skills, and much, much more. Geography is a wonderful subject that can really help young people achieve careers that are professionally and financially rewarding, as well as just wonderfully enjoyable. It's a fantastic opportunity to learn about your world and how it works. So if you've really enjoyed geography in Year 7 and so far in Year 8, then perhaps consider doing the greater depth option for geography for next year in Year 9. What you'll be studying is a really engaging and interesting series of topics. We start off with a couple of questions. The first one that we're going to investigate and answer is, could palm oil lead to the end of the orangutan? Now that requires us going on a journey to Indonesia through videos and PowerPoints and imagery so that we really get to understand what's going on in that country on the other side of the world and how orangutans are being affected by the growth of the palm oil industry. Something that lots of people haven't heard about, but is really, really fascinating. We move on to something completely different after that, learning about Iceland. Why is Iceland a popular tourist destination? We'll look at its tectonic history and the hazards that affect the people who live there and visit there today. And we understand why it's such a magical place to visit and to live. We move on to a topic called the living world, where we're going to study jungles and rainforests. We'll study the deserts of the world and cold environments. We'll learn about what makes it challenging to live in those environments, how humanity is affecting those environments, and what we can do to solve the issues and challenges in those environments moving forward into the future. Finally, Year 9 next year will finish off with a topic called Urban Issues and Challenges. We study Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, a vibrant, exciting city, and then contrast it to learning about Bristol, one of our closest large cities. Another fantastic, vibrant city, but obviously very different from anything that you might see or experience in Rio. And the comparison of those two allows us to answer some further big questions in geography. Now, if you have absolutely loved geography this year and last, if you're passionate about it, if you've been fascinated by it, then perhaps you should consider choosing it as your early option GCSE. As your early option GCSE, you'd start with Urban Issues and Challenges, and that would involve actually visiting Bristol on a field trip in the October enrichment days, along with the older GCSE students as well, but you'd be in your particular group. So we'd study Bristol firsthand. Then we'd move on to that living world topic to learn about jungles and deserts and cold environments. We'd move from that onto the challenge of natural hazards, earthquakes, volcanoes, plate tectonics, the structure of our planet, how to solve the dangers and protect people from these hazardous environments. Then, in the summer, we start to move on to learning about the physical landscapes of the UK, to study coasts, coastal processes, coastal landforms, and actually, again, we have another opportunity there for field work because we go and visit Lyme Regis to study the coastal defences that they have in place at that popular tourist resort not too far away from here. And that is the early option GCSE for Year 9. You'd then continue your GCSE early option into Year 10, where you'd study the challenge of resource management, sustainable energy, The fact that water is running out because of climate change in certain parts of the world, what we can do about that. Then we learn about the changing economic world, how countries that are poorer now are rapidly becoming richer into the future. What challenges does that cause, and how can we solve those challenges for the future? Then we look at another UK physical landscape, this time rivers. We learn about waterfalls, those famous oxbow lakes that people hear about, and how rivers are the blood running through our country, have created the great cities of our country that have built around them. And then finally, we'd be moving in the summer into preparing for those Year 10 early GCSE exams. So geography is an amazing subject, and I really look forward to seeing you next year. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.